Every time I think I'm out, they pull me back in. We've got another elimination game for the Philadelphia 76ers tonight down in South Philly at the Wells Fargo Center. Sixers, Knicks, game 6. We're going to talk all about it. We're going to talk about the Joel Embiid hate, the Tyrese Maxey rising star. We might actually talk a little Phillies today as well. Trending in the AM, taking all your thoughts and opinions on everything that's happening in Philly sports. We're live in 60 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome. Welcome one, welcome all to Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We're live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter. You know the drill. Hit those like, share, subscribe, follow, retweet buttons. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button, the EOP channel. We crossed the 13,000 subscriber mark. We are now working our way towards 15,000. That's the next threshold. So make sure you go over there and check it out. Edge of Philly Sports. Guys, I'm your host, Phil Stiefel. And man, didn't think we would be talking today about a game 6 for our Philadelphia 76ers, but here we are still alive. Even though most people wrote them off, most people, including me, even though most people would rather talk about Joel Embiid not having 40 points in game 5, trashing him. We're going to get into all the people bad-mouthing Joel Embiid in a few moments. Instead of talking about the Tyrese Maxey star that is rising, people talking about the negativity far too much. But we're here. We're still alive. What do they say in the poker world? A chip in a chair is all you need. Well, the Sixers still have that one chip left. And it goes down tonight, Wells Fargo Center, 9 p.m. start time, which is complete ridiculous, which I'm sure I am going to bitch and moan about a lot this morning. But the star is there. The chance is there. I was out. Now I'm back in. That is just pretty typical of our Philadelphia 76ers. We're going to get right to the comments in 1 second here. But here at Trending the AM and Edge of Philly Sports, we're brought to you by SherryTickets.com. Great moments don't happen. They happen with you in the crowd. SherryTickets.com is easy to use, has no hidden fees. The price you see is the price you pay. Pay less, play more. SherryTickets.com. And if you use the promo code EOP10 at checkout, on top of the lack of fees, the no hidden fees, you save 10%. Why use any other ticket reseller? Get those hard-to-come-by tickets for the big game at SherryTickets.com. If you need a more personal touch, give them a call, 610-494-5050. SherryTickets.com. Also, it's great theater and concert tickets, anything hard to get your hands on. Remember, don't overpay with the rest. Save with the best. SherryTickets.com, EOP10, get you 10%. And we are going to jump right into the comments. Good morning, Duck. Party people. We are not going to be party people tomorrow morning, Duck. I will just forewarn you. A 9 o'clock Sixers start time means a midnight at earliest bedtime for me. With that 6:30 wake-up call, I will be grouchy and not happy-go-lucky tomorrow. I guarantee it, win or lose. Stop, Marshawn. It's too early. We just got started. Save those kind of comments for later. What is up, Big Al? Good morning. Sign and trade. Stop. Stop. It's 5 minutes into the show. I'm not ready for that. Yeah, Nova alums used that 10%. Josh Harris and the ownership group of the Sixers did purchase 2,000 of their own tickets to give away to first responders and healthcare workers and community action groups and whatnot, because they didn't want all the Nova alums to be using cherrytickets.com to save 10% and fill the Wells Fargo Center with more Knicks fans. Knicks fans, man, are so annoying, man. I was offered 2 tickets to the Sixers game tonight, and I said no. I don't want to watch them fall apart late in the game and then have to fight to get home. Yeah, I mean, Duck, that's a tough call right there. Offer 2 tickets if they were free. It's even free. It's hard. First and foremost, the 9 o'clock start time, ludicrous. Secondly, you know, even if they were free, you're gonna spend $50 on parking, $100 on beer and water, another $100 on food. So even free tickets are going to cost you $200 to $300. So I get it, and they have been frustrated. And this mentality here from you, Duck, and I'm not blaming you whatsoever for it at all. Just saying this mentality right here from you is why we have seen so many Knicks fans take over the Wells Fargo Center in this playoff series. Because Sixers fans are tired of spending the money to go to these games, tired of the constant year after year disappointment that this Sixers organization has brought us. So I get your feeling here. I get it. I mean, if it was a 7 o'clock game, I might have considered going if I was offered 2 tickets, but even that is doubtful. I'd rather watch it on my couch and be in bed 15 minutes after the final whistle. We some fair weather fans for real. I don't know if we're fair weather fans. I really don't agree with that. And I don't. Sometimes you joke, sometimes you're serious. So I never know, Marshawn. But there is an argument to be made that this is something that a lot of people really, really feel about the Sixers fans. Jason Lee, good morning. Thank you very much. Yes, got a new layout, new home, new studio, new everything, new network, new home, new studio, new everything. So love it. Appreciate you checking in, my man. Fair weather, we are. Stop. You are rowdy very early this morning. If it were Phillies or Union, I would have taken them. Sixers is up there with Flyers for me, which are on the bottom of the teams I support. Look, disappointment after disappointment. It is what it is. Phillies, we are going to talk Phillies today. I do want to talk Phillies because I obviously got in some pretty heated Twitter beefs or debates or discussions yesterday over the Phillies, and so we are going to talk a little bit about the Phillies. Um, the Phillies have had more success lately than the Sixers, and the Union. Well, they're probably one of the best teams in the city of Philadelphia right now. So I get it. And the Sixers, I don't know, Duck, how much you have spent going to Sixers games over the years, but the people that were there dropping $500 a night to go to playoff games the last couple of years to constantly be disappointed. It's unfortunate. It's really, really unfortunate. And a lot of people are tired about it. But to actually help get more Sixers fans in, Josh Harris and company did buy 2,000 tickets for tonight's game to make sure there's 2,000 less Knicks fans in the stands. Hell, if I was one of those firefighters or first responders giving free tickets, I'd be selling them in a heartbeat, probably, just so I have more Knicks fans bashing to do tomorrow on this show. But yeah, I get what they did. It seems weird the way it's phrased that they had to buy tickets to their own game, their own team. Could just block them out. I don't know how that all works out. But yeah, it is what it is. The Knicks were us 5 years ago. Super excited. We have been hurt, so we are not running to buy tickets. Yeah, you can only do it so many years in a row, unless you're the Eagles. The Eagles, it doesn't matter how many disappointments happen. The fans will always come back. Hell, all 60,000 season ticket holders could cancel their season tickets, and there's 100,000 people in line to take them from them. But yeah, the Sixers have disappointed us massively for, has it only been 5 years? I feel like it might be a little longer than 5 years even. So I get it. It's frustrating to hear all the Knicks fans there. It is, but I bet you 5 years ago, if we were playing another team within driving distance, the Knicks or the Nets or something in the playoffs, I bet you Sixers fans were packing those arenas because it was the new thing. It was the end of the tanking years. So I get it. I get both sides of the equation. I understand why Sixers fans don't want to spend the money, and I get why Knicks fans are spending the money. It's something new. The Knicks have been a dreadful organization for a long time. Disappointment is part of it all. I get it, though. Phil, you're going to feel different at the parade after supporting the team from afar. Oh, my God. I hate people telling me I'm fair weather. I'm the furthest thing from fair weather. I was not negative towards the team. Well, maybe I was a little negative towards the team. But I'm not a fair weather fan. I'm a realist fan. I can look objectively at a game or a recap of a game and give you realistic expectations. But man, I'm there pumping my fist on every shot at every game on my couch. But that's not because I'm not a guy that spent big money and then decided to stop because I just hate big crowds. So I don't go to games. Sixers fans hiding behind trauma, fair with stop. You are so rowdy this morning. There's a difference between negativity and realistic. There's a massive thing. Negativity brings me to my first topic that I want to discuss with this Sixers team today. All right. And that is Joel Embiid. And the absolute insanity amount of hate that Joel Embiid is taking for his Game 5 performance. And let me repeat to you, Joel Embiid's box score from Game 5. He played 48 minutes, okay? He only scored 19 points, and he did have 9 turnovers. But he did have 16 rebounds, 5 offensive, 10 assists, a steal, 4 block shots, massively affected the game defensively in the fourth quarter and overtime. Yet all everybody's doing, they're not talking about Tyrese Maxey, which everybody should be talking Tyrese Maxey. No one's talking Tyrese Maxey. Everyone's coming out of the woodwork, the negativity, to bash Joel Embiid because he did not have a 45-point game. Dude's out there on one leg, one eye, massive migraines, Bell's palsy, blown out knees, whatever you want to call it. All the things out there affecting the game, giving it his all. Yet all across the league, you got stars sitting out games for minor injuries. In the playoffs, elimination games, teams winning when their stars are sitting too. Like, I don't get why so many people, and not just national people, local reporters too, couldn't wait till Joel Embiid scored less than 20 points just to say, here comes Joel in a big game. Joel Embiid did anything but come up small, actually, in Game 5. Joel Embiid played, eye test-wise, a fantastic game. I know that sounds like a stretch. It's not. Joel Embiid came out on, what's today, Thursday? So that was Tuesday night. Barely able to, you could just tell his energy level was not there. He was not feeling well. He was not ready to go, but he dug deep and gave it his all. Played 48 minutes, 48 of a possible 53 minutes. He sat for 5 minutes in an overtime game on one knee with all the other problems going on. And you've got guys, and some of these guys I like, some of these guys I don't, some of them I don't care. I've got 3 specifics I'm going to pull up. First, the guy I do like, I do respect. I respect his journey fighting cancer. I respect his job he does on the radio, John Kincaid. Don't let anyone gaslight you tomorrow on what you watched again. A big closeout game coming up small for Joel Embiid. Then you got that ass twat, pardon my French, Seth Joyner. Look at the Sixers' 7-foot guard, Casper the Ghost, wilting under the pressure again. Go on, Knicks. Put him out of his misery. Seriously? Seriously? Really? And then you got some dude, I don't even know, they deleted the tweet because it was getting so much hate. Some dude, supposedly he was a comedian from the Dan Le Batard show, calling him a bleepin' bleep because of how he played it in this game and how he came up small in the fourth quarter and overtime. He didn't come up small. He just didn't build the box score, the box score up. But he affected the game in other ways because he didn't have it. Actually, if anything, Joel Embiid not forcing anything in Game 5, offensively speaking, not forcing the ball to him, letting Tyrese Maxey do what he did, which drop an Allen Iverson-esque playoff performance, letting him do his thing. That was a big deal. Him knowing, I don't got it. Let's defer. Let's set pick and rolls, pick and screens for Tyrese Maxey. Let's make sure we get Maxey the ball in the right spots. That's what he did. Stood out of his way, let Maxey cook. But yet, we win, and the haters come out even more. Even more. And it boggles my mind because we should be spending, we're 15 minutes into the show, and I've barely mentioned Tyrese Maxey's name as we get set for tonight's Game 6. Tyrese Maxey, in my opinion, already should be a superstar consideration. Tyrese Maxey had a coming out game in Game 5. Big shots, clutch moments, dominating. If he got a tenth of the whistles at Jalen Brunson. But we're not talking about him. We're talking about Joel Embiid because he only scored 19 points. Because he's a come up small and big moments guy. We're going to get back to the comments in a second. But this really freaking annoyed me the last 24 hours after seeing these. And like a guy like John Kincaid, who every radio or YouTube personality, we've got agendas. We stick to them. Mine is on Daryl Morey. But I choose my moments to crush Daryl Morey. I don't just at every moment do it. Kincaid using that moment to crush Joel? Not a good look. Seth Joyner, he's just the grumpiest curmudgeon there is. And then obviously, supposedly he's a funny comedian. I never heard of the dude on the Dan Levitard. Really? It was so bad what he said that they had to delete the clip from Twitter because it was taking so much flack. All the Joel Embiid haters, they're going to be like an angry man at a deli trying to send soup back when Joel Embiid goes out there and drops 30 tonight. They're all going to be angry men at a deli trying to send soup back if they all get their wish and trade Joel away. And he goes and leads another team to a Super Bowl, a championship. It's just frustrating that this is the narrative that we have to handle today. I want to spend time talking about Tyrese. I want to spend time talking about the NBA screwing Sixers and Knicks fans with the 9 p.m. start time. I want to talk about all that stuff. But no, we're spending time talking about the negative reception that Joel Embiid's getting only because he scored 19 points. Let's not worry about the 16 rebounds, 5 offensive rebounds. Let's not talk about the assists. Let's not talk about the block shots, the steal. Let's not talk about anything. Let's not talk about the defense. Let's just talk about the fact that he didn't score 40, so everyone's ready to come out of the woodwork. And we won. Maybe there'd be a little justifiable if we lost that game, but we did not. Yeah. No, not at all. Big Al hurting more than Joel. No, you're just bringing the negativity too quickly. Who's hating on him? Sixers fans or national media? Everybody, local and national, is hating on Joel Embiid. Massively. Phil's palsy. Is that what it's called? Okay. Bad stool, and I'm calling sick for work. Okay. I don't know what that is. Tin Phil hat. No. This ain't no conspiracy. Yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. What is up, Brett? Good morning to you. Reality check. What is up? What's good, my man? We're staying off of football a little bit today. We're focused on the Sixers. We're going to talk a little Phillies in a little bit. Yeah, I'll be a touch negative on the Phillies, but we'll get to that in a little bit. Realistically and historically, Joel Embiid is always hurt or sick. Tell me a game when we needed him and he showed up. I don't track his good moments, but he's had plenty of them. And yes, he is hurt and he is sick a lot. But you know what? He doesn't baby out like Dame Lillard or baby out like Giannis because of a strained calf. He plays through it. Anybody that wants to criticize Joel Embiid for his performance on Tuesday night just hates. Straight up hates. Without a doubt. I have seen some people hate on Maxey because of his height and inability to pass like a point guard. Anybody that's hating in the last 48 hours on Tyrese Maxey, that's just an instant block. Like, that's it. Because that's pathetic. Tyrese Maxey straight dominate the game, and he don't get the calls like Jalen Brunson. And I don't blame you. You know what? Jalen Brunson's game centered around getting foul calls. You know what? That's fine. He's making a case for an MVP caliber player the way he plays, so that's fine. And I get it. That's the way the NBA is. But anybody that's hating on Maxey, not getting calls. And honestly, I never thought he was a true legit point guard. I'm starting to see it, a scorer first point guard type. I always thought coming out of college he was more of a two guard, but he was still small for that. And he is a small guy. He's a little short. And you see him get blocked sometimes when he doesn't have the right angle to the hoop. People easily get the block shot on him, especially from behind. But there's no reason to criticize the guy or hate on that guy, not even remotely. For Joel, if he passes out of double teams and the guys make shots, he will continue to do it. When they brick, he pulls a Thanos and says, "Fine, I'll do it myself." But in the last game, he didn't have to do it himself. You know why? Because Tyrese Maxey went up to him and said, "Yo, I got you. I got you." And he's going to continue to have him tonight at 9 o'clock start time. Not all media is all over Maxey now. They all want to be his best friend. I'm sure they all want to be his best friend now. They all want to get the interviews with him now because his star is rising. I guess the 50 points when down 2-0 wasn't big for Joe. Yeah, no one mentions that. Do they? Do they? No. No one's talking about the fact that James Harden had, like 7 points last night? I scrolled through Twitter this morning, didn't see one negative comment about James Harden and his lack of a performance last night. It's Joel hate. That's what people want to do. How long till the fan base and Philly media? Oh, if in 5 years from now we don't have a title and he comes up small, sure, they'll do it. It happens in every city that actually cares, too. We're not the only city that badmouths our players. Yeah, yeah, sorry. Favorite show on YouTube? Thank you very much, my man. Eric, you are an OG. AI brought it on himself. AI did bring on some of his own trouble, for sure. But if Joel asks out of the 76ers, all these guys will want it. This is so accurate, so true from Brett right here. If Joel said, "I want out of here," every team, the Knicks fans that are bad-mouthing him, they wanted nothing more than to get Joel Embiid on their team. They were doing mock drafts or mock trades all year long. Now they hate him. This is such an accurate statement. Teams would be lining up. Fan bases, his next jersey in another city would be the hottest selling jersey of the year. Guaranteed. It's pathetic. It's pathetic, Brett. It really is. They'll never stop. That's right. They never will. Oh, you meant sushi. Oh, well, that could be. When you get sushi at the local gas station, Marshawn, you're going to get sick. Okay? Just telling you. Sushi at a gas station is not the best bet for a healthy dinner. The bad Embiid game is a triple-double, and unfortunately almost a quadruple-double. I get it. The 9 turnovers weren't ideal, but he still affected the game in massive ways. And the haters just want to find a reason to hate, and when they get a reason to hate, 9 turnovers, under 20 points, they don't care about all the good. They just want to focus on the negative because that's what they are. As long as we get bench production and superstar Maxey, I'm fine with 19 points per game. Honestly, someone told me this yesterday, and I forget who it was on Twitter. They responded to one of my posts, and they said that the Sixers should start thinking big picture about running the team, running the offense, running everything through Tyrese Maxey and not Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is still the superstar. Maxey is the rising star. But this team needs to start thinking big picture of keeping Joel, but making the offense run through Maxey before Embiid. Let Embiid be a 25-point, 15 rebound, 10. Focus on defense and rebounding. Not that he's ever been an elite rebounder, but focus on the things that he can control and not force feed him. And if he doesn't have that pressure of being the guy offensively, maybe it preserves his body a little bit more throughout the season. Maybe he falls to the ground a little bit less. Maybe he takes one less big hit if he's not the guy, offensively speaking. If he doesn't have to try to draw 20 fouls a game, maybe that makes him better. And maybe Maxey is that guy. Raptors game-winning shot seems like a big moment, for sure. Half year, yeah, leader. Bro, I love Philly sports. This is the only city one day you're a god, the next day you're Simmons. This is the toughest place to play in the world. Hey, you ain't wrong about that. Y- Being a Philly sports fan is not for the weak at heart. Okay, not at all. Yeah, you hate on Maxey. You're getting blocked with yeah. No, 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 no. Not in my house. That's the best I could do. The fact that Joel is a center that shoots 80+% from free throw is also big too. He can stay on the floor. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Brett. No doubt about it. It's just ludicrous that this is even the part of the conversation that we're having today. I feel if LeBron played in Philly, we would have found a problem with him too. Yeah, absolutely. And there's rumors that LeBron wants to come play in Philly with Joel and Tyrese next year. And honestly, I wouldn't be against it. We'll discuss that when the offseason comes and rolls around. But yeah, when he comes up small in a big game, yeah, yeah, for sure. Seth freaking Rollins is the court of the court 12. Gotcha. Gotcha. Trade Maxey before we turn on him. Stop. Stop. Sixers last ring came with a backcourt of 6'1" and 6'3". So people should chill a little bit on that front. So many different ways you can win. Yeah, it's a different time. Different time. Different ball game. Different game. I want to see socials throwdown between beer. Yeah. I've tried. I try not to get too out of control on Twitter. I try to keep things respectful. Sometimes it's just hard. I was disliked from the beginning because of the clothes he wore and his posse. Yeah, he was hated because he didn't practice enough. Maury would trade Maxey, Paul George Harden, and half a box of crumble cookies. And I still don't trust Maury, but we're not worried about that right now. This offseason, we'll get to that. AI ain't yeah on the court. You never question whether he was going to show up or not. Joel shows up all the time. Joel's always there, giving his best. He can't help it if he's beat up. He can't help it if no one else on his team has stepped up on a regular basis. All Knicks fans had to see was Leon Rose. I hope they try OG on Maxey. That would free up the front court on good. OG's having an underrated good series for the Knicks. He's a guy that had Nooms for 9. Is that how you say your name? Um, he was a guy that on this show, my previous network, around the trade deadline, leading up to the NBA trade deadline, I thought would have been a good fit on the Sixers. Not because he's this great shooter or anything, just because he brought a little long, lanky guy that runs the floor, plays defense, can get up some shots, can do all different kind of things. The type of guy that this team was really missing. I thought he would have been a perfect flip to switch Tobias Harris out with him. Obviously, we kept Tobias Harris. And he had a big game the other night. But OG, I kind of watching this series, I kind of keep thinking back to how I wanted him to be part of the Sixers this year. Guys, next sponsor of the show, PhillySportsTrips.com. If you're a Philly sports fan and you want to travel with your favorite team, then travel with the best, PhillySportsTrips.com. They feature great premium travel and tailgating experiences for the best fans ever. Us, Sixers, Phillies, Eagles fans. Philly Sports Trips has self-travel packages, full travel packages available, round-trip flights, bus trips, Phillies, Eagles, Flyers, Sixers, Union, you name it. And, of course, August 30th to September 8th, their trip to Brazil to see the Eagles play the Green Bay Packers week 1 of the NFL season. Go to PhillySportsTrips.com. Sign up immediately. Tell them EOP. Tell them Trending in the AM sent you. Guys, don't miss out if you got the extra money. If you can't afford to go to Brazil, then maybe you take maybe one of their bus trips to D.C. to watch the Eagles play the Commanders. I'm sure they got so many packages. Just check them out. PhillySportsTrips.com. Yeah, right back to the comments. Right back to it. I got like 12 comments I'm behind here. I was calling Maxey the face of the franchise months ago. You guys called me crazy. Just call Negadamus from now on. Is that what you want to be called? I got you. Didn't Joel go 1 for 2 at the free throw line in the fourth quarter of Game 4? Yeah, I think he did. And didn't Kyle Lowry go like 2 for 5 in that same stretch? No one's criticizing Kyle Lowry for going 0 for in Game 5, but we call out Joel Embiid. LeBron is a bit corny like McNabb. I think he'd get a similar reaction. That is a weird analogy that I'm kind of thinking about. The difference between McNabb and LeBron is LeBron's got a crap ton of titles and MVPs, and McNabb's got. I'm sorry, hold on. Let me Google search this. Google. How many championships does McNabb have? Oh, 0. That's right. That's right. Joe called him the franchise in the beginning of the year. I think he knows what. Yeah, Joel knows this should be Tyrese Maxey's team, and it's for the best. It is 100% for the best that Joel, lets Tyrese Maxey do his thing. It's very important that he lets him, you know, be the focal point. I think that's the right way to say it. The focal point needs to be Tyrese Maxey, and there's no doubt about it, one bit, that that's the way it needs to be. Let Tyrese Maxey cook. Let him lead. Let him do his thing. Well, love the new setup, bro. Thank you. We'll be back talking football, probably even sometime later this week. Got a lot of things lined up for this offseason. Guests I'm reaching out to, different things, different ideas, theories, topics, reality check. Glad to see you back. We're still here every single morning doing our thing. One of the greatest Sixers names is Mo Cheeks. Yeah, Mo Cheeks. The desk is elite. You like the desk? I brought down my Fanatic. I added to my bobblehead collection here later. Well, that one fan appreciation day, AI and Weber almost didn't show up at all. Yeah, Chris Weber. Hey, there's a winner right there. Everybody's saying so. All these comments I missed out on is everybody saying goodbye to Reality Check. No one cares about what I'm saying. Let's just say goodbye to Reality Check. Your reads have improved great. Oh, thank you. Blackout Eagles, baby. Yeah, exactly. See, somehow we always end up back at the Eagles talking. No matter what we got on the agenda. You mean PJ Lowry? Yeah, playoff PJ. Well, playoff Kyle Lowry has been pretty dreadful. I think the Miami play-in game, was the only good game he had of the playoffs. He had some good games at the end of the season. Let me tell you something. Kyle Lowry's got to do more. If the Sixers expect to win tonight, Game 6, Kyle Lowry cannot have 0 points. Kyle Lowry needs to do something. 1,000% needs to do something. We need to find the balance between when Joel is the ultimate warrior and when he is a playoff loser. Scores 50 points, glazing at the highest level. Scores. Why does it matter that he scored only 19 points? Doesn't it not? Do the 19 points? So if he didn't score 19 points, then Tyrese Maxey wouldn't have scored 46. If you want him to score 29, 10 of those points are coming from somewhere else. Then we're not talking that Tyrese Maxey played one of the greatest games in Sixers playoff history. Winning shot, game tying shot, whatever. So you can't have it both ways. Like, I don't get it. I really, really, really do not get the Joel Embiid 19-point hate. Now, if he had 19 points, 9 turnovers, but then had 5 rebounds and 2 assists and no block shots, sure. But he dominated the game in so many other ways. Joel been calling, yeah, exactly. And he is the franchise. A-High had Stackhouse and Derek Coleman. Terry Stackhouse, talk about names. Those dudes couldn't get along. Got to be able to know your role. Yeah, for sure. Jerry Stackhouse wanted to be the star. Derek Coleman thought he was a star. Mo Cheeks is a wild name. In 2024. David Archerry approves of the new desk. I appreciate it. We'll get to David Archerry later in the show. The Turkish kebab. Will the Bucks make it? I don't know. I mean, it is Doc Rivers coaching that team. I'm surprised they won Game 5, considering that they were minus Giannis and Dame, and they still found a way to win. Bobby Portis had to go off in that game. I don't have faith in any team led by Doc Rivers, so I'm just going to answer no solely because of the Doc Rivers coach job. Because the NFL have groomed the country for the last 40 years. That's why it's all about the NFL, no matter how abusive the relationship. Absolutely agree, Doc. 1,000%. And, yeah, that is what it is. The NFL, will always dominate. It'll always be a part of every one of these shows because it's the NFL we're talking about here. It's the NFL. There's no way around it. We're not really expecting a 38-year-old to be consistent, are we? Um, LeBron? Who? What? Man, if we had a healthy Melton, this series could have been tipped towards us. Man, you're right about that, Brett. Did Melton even play in the last game? No. He played the 7 minutes in Game 5, and that's it. Played that one game, 2 or 3 games left in the regular season. And I've always been a huge D'Anthony Melton fan. I hope this is not a long-term lingering injury for him that goes into future years. Once you start getting back problems, if not dealt with correctly, they can just creep up at a moment's notice at any time. And you, as a physical therapist, you probably know this. I'm probably sure you've probably dealt with backs before. Um, Backs just I'd rather a player tear the ACL than have a back injury, because just a back injury and a hamstring injury are two things that I've seen just linger. And the Melton back injury this year is just lingering all year long. His defensive prowess, his ability to knock down shots, would be massive right now. If he was healthy, he'd be the one, not Nico Boom Boom Batum or Tobias Harris, that would be guarding and locking down Jalen Brunson in clutch moments. The Anthony Melton missing in this series and for most of the second half of the season is a big not appreciated understory that's not being discussed enough. Why are we talking Kyle needs to show up? Joel needs to show up. Pack your nuts tonight, big fella. Stop. Pacers unraveling more than the 2023 Eagles. They lost one game. One game that they 1,000% should have won. Joel, 208 minutes plus 48. 37 minutes without, minus 41. And he's played all but 2 minutes of the second half of the last 2 games. And people want to criticize Joel Embiid? Really? 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 You want to criticize Joel Embiid when this stat exists? I think it's pretty obvious that Joel Embiid is not Casper the Ghost, not coming up small again. I don't think Furkan signed with a team. I know after he got cut, after he got traded, that he went home to Europe, and then he was going to come back and sign at the end of the year somewhere. I don't think he did. But yeah, could you imagine if Furkan was still on this team? He'd probably be getting minutes over Ricky Council and KJ Martin right now. I'll tell you that. Oh, 38-year-old Lowry. Gotcha. My bad. I was thinking because we had mentioned LeBron earlier. But it's not about 38-year-old being consistent's okay. I'm not asking for 38-year-old Lowry to shoot his age to score 38 points. But you can't have a guy play nearly 30 minutes and be a starter and score 0 points. We crushed PJ Tucker all last year when he would come up small and score 0 points. But Kyle Lowry's okay to do it. It's not like I'm expecting much. If he scores 8 points, he makes 1 or 2 of the shots he took in game 6 or 5. Maybe we don't go to overtime. I just expect a little bit. Not more, just a little bit. Just not more, just something. You got to give us something if you're going to play big minutes. Ray Rice was caught. What are we talking about here? Where did that come from? Back injuries took out Steve Nash. Back injuries took me out. My life is a lot different. I've never done anything other than see a chiropractor for my back. Back injuries linger, and you could just go like this, and then all of a sudden, a slight moment can tweak it again, and it's something when one of my athletes on my favorite teams have that bothers me massively. Yeah, where's Cork Miles? Cork Miles would be dropping some dimes right now, right? This is a safe space for Joel. Safe space for you to say your opinion. Casper the GOAT. Oh, okay, gotcha. Sorry I'm late to the party. What is up, Peanut? What's your today in Eagles history comment? We'll sneak a little bit of Eagles in here if you give me today in Eagles history, which you said you want to do your regular thing here. So let me know. Hopeful take and be playing himself into 24-minute half shape. Yeah. You know what I would like to see tonight? I would like to see an old school load management game from Joel. The Sixers just go out and just destroy the Knicks, and then we don't have to play them in the fourth quarter. Is there even a remote chance that the Sixers blow out the Knicks tonight and we get that so we could save them for Game 7? Um, Teflon Don, Joel Embiid. That's why I said trade Joel. Stop. Stop. Shoot your age, not your shoe size. That's right. That's right. Muscle imbalance can be tough to diagnose, and I wonder if that's the issue with D Melt. Brett, do you know Brett's a PT and he's given us advice before with injuries. If Brett knows anything about D'Anthony Melton's injury, pop it into the conversation. We're not even putting the comments about Ray Rice back on the board, guys. Today in Sixers history, Joel shows up in a massive game. You guys are a bunch of haters, man. A bunch of haters. Yeah, the team can't hold any lead without Joel on the court, but Hield is unplayable. And Buddy Hield, and I was going to get off the comments for a second. But Buddy Hield, obviously hasn't played now in 2 games. Game 3 was the last time he saw the court, and it was only in the first half. Then they went to campaign. They need somebody to knock down some shots. And campaign, while it's a nice story, while it gives you a little bit of something, hustle, heart, whatever, this team would be massively better if Buddy Hield could get back on some form, some level of a shooting skill. So, in my opinion, and my opinion means jack to all you, and obviously the Sixers don't care. I would give Buddy Hield late in the first, early in the second, depending on how the game plays out, a 3-minute run. If I was Nick Nurse, I'd go to Buddy and be like, yo, you're getting on the court today at some point in the first half. I'm going to give you 3 to 4 minutes. If you got your shot back, I'll play you. If you don't, then that's it. Just give him a shot to see if he could get back, some form of confidence. Buddy Hield's a free agent. He's putting in the work. He's going to want to do something. Give him a shot. If you're going to lose your lead in the second quarter anyway with Paul Reed out there for Joel, at least put Buddy out there and see if he can make a shot. Just give him a shot. Why not? I have no problem with that. I really don't. Guys, real quick, make sure you come visit all of the EOP family at the Streetlight Kitchen and Bar on Saturday, May 11th, starting at 2:30. We're going to be hosting pregame show for the Phillies, postgame show for the Phillies, watch along during the game. We're going to be giving away 2 free tickets to the June 28th Phillies game at this event. All you got to do is show up, and you'll be entered to win 2 Phillies free tickets. Plus, you'll get to meet me. I will be there for a portion of the day. So come on out, buy me a beer, shake my hand, take a picture, do whatever. Tell me I'm an idiot. Come on out, introduce yourself to Streetlight Kitchen and Bar, 5400 Fern Boulevard, Drexel Hill, PA, Holiday Inn and Suites at the Drexel Brook Event Center, May 11th, starting at 2:30. Guys, I expect to see each and every one of you there for that event. I'm predicting the Sixers blowout tonight. Sixers being blown out, or the Sixers will blow out the Knicks. I'm not a hater. I'm a realist. So you're saying the Sixers are going to get blown out. Load management is a theme. Yeah. I need some load management right now, K1. I really do. I really need some load management right now. Even when I get a good night's sleep, I'm instantly exhausted. I'm in the same boat as you are, Nooms for 9. Like, I really think you don't give him 10, 15 minutes. You give him 3-4 minute burn in the second quarter. And if he's got it, great. If he doesn't, you got campaign. You give him a shot. Because if Buddy Hield could get hot, Buddy Hield's the type of guy that could change a game, just like Tyrese Maxey to an extent. If he comes out for 3 or 4 minutes and knocks a shot or 2 down and his confidence starts ticking up, he's a guy that can make 5 to 7 threes in a game, no problem. We're not that far removed from him getting traded to the Sixers and dropping 20 plus points, first 4 games in a Sixers uniform? So there is that potential there. You just got to get him right. Now, I don't know if he can get right, but I'm willing to give him a shot. Not a big shot, but a shot. You had to be a big shot, didn't you? Because we're going to need him for the Pacers series, right? I like what you're thinking there. I like what you're thinking. I like it. Load management is wild. Dude, you had me teed up for a David Archerry, but yeah, no. I don't like people teeing up my reads. I don't. I like to tee myself up. Big bites and street lights. I like that. I like that. I like it. I had to check, but Melton's injury is a lumbar stress reaction, meaning it's inflammation of the bone from trauma, physical stress, not a soft tissue issue, which probably explains why so slow of a recovery. Interesting. Interesting. Details here on the DeAnthony Melton. And is it something that can linger? Even when he thinks he's right, he might not be right. Plus, want to avoid a stress fracture. That would be no bueno. Load production is the story of Sean Kemp's life. Wow. Um, I'm saying we win by a blowout. Oh, okay. So you're extra which is so weird because you're Mr. Negative, but you're super positive. I love it. Or, unless you're using reverse psychology to hope for a Sixers loss. So you can come on here and say trade Maxey tomorrow. You hated the Buddy Hield trade, though. I did hate the Buddy Hield trade. I did. I still do. There were other trades I won, and I don't even remember who I was pining for back then outside of OG. I didn't like it. I didn't like the trade deadline period this year. And here we are on the brink of elimination again. So, that being said, I'm still giving it a shot. You're still better off hoping that Buddy Hield gets on some form of a right track. What good does Buddy Hield sitting on the bench do? Nothing. Nothing at all. Guys, if you missed it last night, the Philly Press Box Radio celebrated their 10th anniversary show with the great Ray Didinger. Ray Diddy gave him about 20, 30 minutes talking the NFL draft. I watched all of it last night. But if you missed it and you want to get your Eagles fill, go listen to Ray Didinger right here on the Edge of Philly Sports Network. You can catch the replay on the YouTube page, being interviewed by Chet and Bill. Fantastic information from Ray Didinger right there. Fantastic show last night. And again, one final shout out to these boys. 10 years of doing their show. God, will the Core 12 still exist in 10 years? That is my question. Will the Core 12 still, when I hit 10 years, which is still 6 years away, will the Core 12 still exist? I don't know if you guys could put up with me for 6, 7 more years. I'm not sure. And for those new, I got a couple new people tuning in today. The Core 12 is not 12 people. It's just the regulars. It's the nickname we call for the regulators, the guys that are here every single day, chit-chatting about whatever we're talking about. Yes, it lingers because stress causes the injury, and you don't know what you can do until you play and put the stress on that spine. And outside of rest, what is the best form of fixing? Should he have gotten a surgery? Is just rehab the right course of action for this style of injury, knowing you don't have the x-rays in front of you and any MRIs or anything like that? Is the rest and rehab the best course of action, or should he have gone for surgery and just packed in this season to get better for next year? Because if it's just rehab, then we're going to be thinking about this next year if he is on this team. Get it out of here. Maury, it's a pause year. I'm pretty sure Maury actually did say that at the beginning of the year, something like that. Maxey, hold my beer. Yeah, that's right. Phil is a retroactively selective hater. Next level content. What? Explain your wild and crazy, idiotic statement right here, Kayvon. I don't selectively hate. I hate everybody. 10 years from now, Embiid will still be Teflon. I'll still be saying don't trade. And it won't be 10 years. 10 years would put me at about 13 years of doing trading the AM. But even then, 10 years from now, he'll be 40, still doing it, still doing his thing. LeBron and his son in Philly gets us great national attention, and the refs will give us all the calls. Yeah, I guarantee you, whether it's tonight, this weekend, or a couple months from now, whenever the Sixers season ends, we will be talking LeBron James. Is he a fit for the Philadelphia 76ers? I'm just not ready to have. The one thing I hate is having off-season talk before the off-season starts in all sports. I didn't like doing it with the Eagles, but as soon as the Eagles season ended, abruptly, we got right into it. Sixers, I don't want to talk about next year really deeply until we do it. We need this run the ball Eagles fan to hold up, play Ricky signs in the front of the building. Yeah. The guys that used to that had the trash cans with James Bradbury's name on them. We need them play Ricky. I don't even know, honestly, Eric, at this point, if Ricky Council or KJ Martin really even are the answer. I don't even know if I want to see them played at this point. I get it. I get the theory behind giving them a shot. But two guys that have no playoff experience, barely any NBA experience, do we really want to trust them? I guess if I'm willing to give Buddy Hield a 3-minute run to see if he's got it back, I guess a 3-minute run for Ricky or KJ would not be a bad idea. We have seen in the past the Sixers go Batum at center and Martin or Ricky Council at the 4, or vice versa, playing those two guys in a small ball lineup. I wouldn't be adverse to that instead of Paul Reed. Paul Reed, where Buddy Hield has been taken out of the rotation, Paul Reed still is getting 4 to 6 minutes a game, which you just can't even play him those 4 minutes. So I don't know what the answer is there, but sure, why not? What harm can it do? Yeah. Phil, Ukraine has spent that. No, I'm not discussing the Ukraine. Sorry, Davey. I don't know where this comment is coming from. You're normally an Eagles commenter, not a Ukraine and realistic thought. You will not get real world discussions on things like this politically from me. Maybe the night before the election. Maybe. I doubt it, though. I don't like the trolls that come out when I talk this stuff. I don't. Not at all. I will say one serious thing that I could talk about a little bit. May, and I forgot to say this yesterday. It was in my notes. I forgot to get to it. May is Mental Health Awareness Month. And there's a lot of people that need help out there. And if you need help, my DMs are open. There's always resources for you to get help out there. People do care. And whenever it's Mental Health Awareness Month, I always think of one of my favorite songs ever written. Every song, music's a big part of my life. And music is great because it can be interpreted by every person differently. And there's a song by Smokey Robinson called Tracks of My Tears, very well-known song. And even though it's a song about a breakup and heartbreak and stuff like that, to me, it's a mental health song. Because if you look at the smile on my face, it may seem out of place. I might be the life of the party because I tell a joke or two. But deep down inside, I'm blue. There's a lot of that song that resonates with me with mental health, with depression, with anxiety and stuff like that. So there are people out there that need help. And if you need help, find someone, reach out, Google it, send me a DM, send somebody a message. And if you think somebody is struggling, don't wait to reach out. That is the worst thing you do. Because when you finally do reach out, you're going to find out it was too late. And we know that from personal experiences. So, Mental Health Awareness Month, take this month to reach out and check on a friend that you think might be struggling. And I know I'm going to get jokes about this because of Joel Embiid and everything else, but it's something that I really do hold dear to make sure we do that and take care of people. Back to the comments. Rest, bracing, exercise. I'm sure he's in good shape. Manual therapy. Just looked up for athletes. It's a 4 to 6 month recovery. And he came back a lot quicker than that. Okay. So rest and bracing and exercise is best for it. Gotcha. All that money. Stop. We're not talking about that. Yeah, we're not talking about that. What are we doing? No, guys. When will they release the content? Stop, guys. No. I really do wish Ricky Council would get time, but they not be the right match for this particular series. Maybe that is something. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. I don't know if they will at any point, but, it is what it is. We probably won't get them. Peanut says, May 2nd, 1970, both Phillies catchers Tim McCarver and Mike Ryan suffered broken hands in the 6th inning, losing 7-1 to San Francisco. That was not this day in Eagles history, but that was this day in Phillies history. May 2nd, 1970. Wasn't even a thought in anybody's mind yet at that point. Getting that, yeah, exactly. I was a bear. Done, yeah. Ha, Irish Mike Ryan, yeah. Phil, can you solve Middle East peace and talk about No. You guys don't want to hear my isolationism theories on life and in this country. You don't need to hear about it. No, we're not getting political on this show. Zero chance of it. Iris by Google Dolls is my Philly sports heartbreak song. Gotcha. Amen. Talk to a friend and get some fresh air. Don't suffer in silence. Man, Davey, oftentimes we realize people are struggling far too late. And it's a shame. So reach out, check on your friends, check on your loved ones. You know, don't wait because it could be too late. Best thing I ever did for my family was to start talk therapy and go to psychiatrists, reach out to experts, and try not to do it on your own. Absolutely. Some people are afraid to reach out to experts. So, you know, that's why I always leave my DMs open. You never know. Sometimes, unfortunately, there are people that will scam people's good nature. Somebody DM'd me, and I saw that they were DMing like 20 other people when I shared it out. That there's this account out there on Twitter that'll DM you and say, "I need help. I'm struggling." And then when you respond back, they're like, "Venmo me money at this account, and I'll be fine." And then when you say, "No, what else can I do?" They just block you. So, yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's important to talk. It's important to help people, man. It really is. Uh, Mister, hey Phil, when you sign with ESPN and sit at the table with Stephen A. Smith, you have to scream your sports takes for no apparent reason. Can you do it? Absolutely. Absolutely. 1000%. I could scream at the top of my lungs. And 1000%, I could come up with bad hot takes. I could do it without it. I could do it with the best. I could blow this show up like this with some asinine, crazy hot takes and videos. But I choose to be able to look myself in the mirror and respect the person on the other side of the mirror. The only hope is the person on the other side of the mirror doesn't talk back to me. That is the only hope I have. Maxey tied Michael Jordan for most points in a playoff game by a visiting player. Damn. Stop. NBA should outsource official reviews to the Philippines. Yeah. Speaking of politics, no. Phil is a Woodrow. Brett caught what I said, and you know what? One of my favorite presidents of all time, right there. One of my favorites of all time, Brett. That's the most political information you will get out of me, right there. This day, 1983, former Eagles Ben Brocklin passed away. Shame. Oh, wait, is that true, Eric? I don't know. I'm hoping so. I'm not fact checking Eric. Eric's one of the OGs. I don't fact check the OGs. I don't do that. Not at all. Guys, we don't need to fact check. We got Cherry Law Firm on our side. If you get hurt at work in a motor vehicle accident, personal injury, or affected by criminal law, call David R. Cherry of the Cherry Law Firm. They're here to help. Fight for your rights. Fight for what you deserve. Cherry Injury Law, a dedicated, well-established personal injury law firm built on the promise of aiding the seriously injured throughout the state of Pennsylvania. If you've been seriously injured in the state by the negligence of another, and if you have questions, their Westchester or Media personal injury attorney, please don't hesitate to call 610-565-0300. Go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Let David R. Cherry fight for your rights. Again, that number is 610-565-0300, or go to cherryinjurylaw.com. Back to the comments. Guys, pour one out for the flying touchman. Yeah. Guys, you're watching Trending in the AM right here on Edge of Philly Sports. We're live. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Hit those like, share, subscribe, retweet buttons wherever you're watching. Follow. Again, we've passed the 13,000 subscriber mark on EOP. Let's try to push for 15. Take the QR code off the YouTube page. Guys, walk around Wawa. Tell people to tune in every single morning. Plug and play. Listen while you're on your ride to work. You don't have to turn the dial on. Trending the AM, the number one morning show in Philadelphia in sports on YouTube, the first daily YouTube show. Everybody's copying the morning show on YouTube now, but I was the OG. It's the only place where your opinions actually matter as well. Did I say that? I didn't say nothing. I just responded to Brett's comments. Just saying. Just saying. I didn't say one thing or another. I just called out Brett for knowing what I was talking about. That's all. PT and a history nerd. I know you guys are all jealous. I am not a PT person, but I am a history nerd. My first decision in high school for my major in college was going to be a history major. But two things blocked me from making that my career. One, there's only 2 real career paths at the time, I thought. Turns out there's more career paths, and maybe my advisor in high school should have helped me better with that. I heard there was only 2 career paths I saw. One to be a writer, and I'm a terrible writer. Well, not terrible. I'm just not a very good writer. I never got past 10th grade writing level. Or 2, to be a history teacher. And I hate kids, so I would never want to teach punk kids for the rest of my life. So I gave up my history major. But man, I love history. I love it, especially the history of war and peace. Like the history of what causes war, the wars happening, and how wars end. That stuff I love it. I love it. I could eat documentaries up about that stuff, read books about that stuff all the time. Phil loves George Bush Sr. and Jr. No comment on that at all. Not at all. We are not making this about that. I'd rather talk about bad-mouthing Joel Embiid. I'd rather say negative things about Joel Embiid. Stop. Maxey just, I never said I liked Woodrow Wilson, just so you know. I said I like the theory of isolationism, okay? Protect what's in our borders. Make what's in our borders better. Fix our schools, our roadways. Let's not worry about everybody else's problems. That's just me. That is just me. Maxey just became a legend at Madison Square Garden. New York City is basketball mecca, and Maxey is Black Baby Jesus. I love it. Get us back on track. Get back on track with Sixers talk. I want to throw some Phillies talk in here as well, but back on track here. Let's get off politics. I do not want to talk about it. Whatever. I don't want to talk politics. I hate politics. Everyone was yeah. We're not talking about this, guys. We're not talking about it. Yeah. Let's talk about a $500 super chat, which you can't do on YouTube, but my Venmo is linked in the description of the show down below. I would greatly appreciate any super chat. 500 is a bit extreme, but if somebody wanted to really give it to me, that'd be great. Here's the thing about D-Melt. It's 4 to 6 months. It's so frustrating that the Sixers med staff was trying to bring him back before that. Absolutely agree. And that's why I love having Brett in the comments, because whenever there's an injury, whenever there's a problem with the players, Brett's always there for me to answer the medical issues in the comment section. Especially. Do you really think I say especially? Because I'm pretty sure I know what it is. If you're a history nerd, a great podcast is Behind the Bastards. Talks about a whole bunch of monsters in history and how they lead to wars. I'll have to look that up. I will have to look that. You got my DMs. Send me a link to it. I'll have to look that up. Stop. Guys, I'm not getting into this conversation. You will never be. Yeah, I won't go on ESPN and say racist stuff about Donovan McNabb on a live sports show. So no, I will not ever be him. Guys, we're not talking that stuff. We're not. You guys wanting to talk politics has forced me to switch the topic briefly about the Phillies. 21-11, still a half a game behind the Braves. Third best record in baseball. Obviously, the Braves better than them. Win again yesterday in LA. Another series win. Another winning streak happening. Are the Phillies for real? Are the Phillies really that good of a team? 21-11 is not. You don't do that by accident. And we're 21-11 with Nick Castellanos hitting under 200, with Kyle Schwarber doing Kyle Schwarber things, striking out all the time and doing what he does. Bryce and Stott having a little bit of it's not his sophomore year, but sophomore slump to start the year. Bryce Harper has not been MVP Harper yet. Some of the players in the bullpen still not good. Some have been. Starting pitching has been lights out. I'm not sure how long that can last. We'll get back to Sixers and predictions in a second here for the night. I see a prediction coming in. Are the Phillies that good? And why? Again, I'm super always critical of Rob Thompson. Why does Rob Thompson think it's necessary to not play Brandon Marsh every single day? And I came under a lot of heat yesterday on social media because I called out Brandon or him again for resting Brandon Marsh against the lefty. And I was like, oh, Rob Thompson's great. Rob Thompson does no wrong. And look, I'm not criticizing him because he's got this team at 21-11, but I'm criticizing him because and I've said this for 2 years now on this very show, that the Phillies win and the Phillies success the last couple of years is despite Rob Thompson, the manager. That's all it is. And you said one up. Yeah, I won't do McLean stuff. The Jeff McLean comment asking Cooper Jean about being a white cornerback in the NFL. What the F was that? Who's better? Tyrese Maxey. I think Donovan Mitchell is extremely overrated, Eric. He's a great scorer, but he's a very one-dimensional basketball player, in my opinion. Again, I've only seen him a few times a year. I don't watch Cleveland Cavaliers basketball regularly, but I've been saying it for a long time. Not a Donovan Mitchell fan. Whatever. First patient, hope the political talk. Yeah, dude, guys. Yeah, 101-93. Oh, you said it because you got a patient to get to. Well, good luck with the patient. We'll talk again tomorrow. Let's hope we're talking a 101-93 Sixers win. I'm doing one for, okay. History Channel, you mean Pawn Stars? Yeah, exactly. There used to be a time when the History Channel was an elite channel. I say break pump for this series. We caught Angels without Trout and Rendon. Yes. Mike Trout, again, another season-ending injury for Mike Trout, another season-ending surgery. It breaks my heart. The guy could be the greatest baseball player of all time. He really could be. But the guy never stays healthy. And all the Phillies fans that wanted Mike Trout to come to the Phillies this offseason, like what? So that he plays 12 games and then misses another year? Like, I feel bad for the dude. And when he was speaking after, it was 2 games ago, and he was speaking after the game because it came out that he was going to have surgery and end his season again. You could see how frustrated and emotionally distressed he is about another injury. But man, it's heartbreaking. I thought he said that. I know Phil loves Lyndon B. Johnson and George Bush Sr. Oh man, I tried that, but the stream's still going, so the time guys. I say things accidentally, not always well thought out. Okay. You want me to talk? You bring up politics in a show that wants nothing to do with politics. Mistakes are going to be made. Just saying. Is there a 76ers game tonight? No. They're not playing tonight. He said it. All right. I said whatever. Guys. If Joyner is, what does that make fake fans of the Nova Wildcats? New Yorkers? McLean is trash. No Donovan Mitchell trade. That Donovan Mitchell is overrated. It's great content. What politics is? No, I hate it. No. You know what? I hate talking politics. I hate talking that stuff. I really do. It really, really bothers me. Because A, I don't like to give my real personal opinions on real things too much. And B, it brings out so many trolls and bots. And literally, the last time, I don't even remember what it was about. It was like 2-3 months ago. I made a political tweet, my first one in probably 2 years. And I instantly got banned for 24 hours on Twitter. And all I did was put out a tweet. Some national site was running a poll. Who are you going to vote for, Biden or Trump? And I quote tweeted it. It said, really, these are my 2 best options out of 350 million people? And I got a 24-hour ban. I don't know. Maybe it was something else. But that was the only tweet that was out of the realm of normal tweets for me. So it had to be why I got a 24-hour ban. Seriously. That's why I don't do it. It brings out a lot of hate. I wouldn't want you to talk about things you're uncomfortable about. I don't mind. I've done uncomfortable conversations on this show in the past. I always go back to the Brian Flores situation when he left Miami. One of my very, very, very early days of trending in the AM. I was probably a year and a half into podcasting, probably a month or 2 into trending in the AM period. And it was an uncomfortable conversation to have about racism and stuff like that. And I worked my way through it. And it was very, very therapeutic. But I don't want to do it. It ruins my day when I got to have serious conversations. A guy that plays the game hard and been in the MLB since 20. If you couldn't see these injuries coming from a mile away, then I have a bridge to sell you. Yeah, look, it's a shame. Mike Trout, yeah. Sixers brought the extra tickets and donated them to Philly first responders. First off, why do they got to buy tickets to their own stadium and team and games? B, It sounds on paper like they're doing such a great thing, Josh Harris and company buying 2,000 tickets to distribute to Sixers and Philly fans across the city. But in reality, it's reacting to the bans that they did already by putting all these tickets up on the market and letting. Yeah, look, it's a reaction to all the bad publicity and press they're getting for all the Knicks fans. So it sounds good, but it's really just a marketing ploy to kiss butt. It really is. Can't fight the algo, big guy. Yeah, no. The algo sucks. Brian Flores is a good defensive coordinator. He was. He is. And he was a good head coach at Miami, and he should never have been fired. I don't remember every single detail about it, but it was a shitty situation he went through. And we did a show. It was like the first show on the morning show ever that did it was like 2,000 views that day, just on Twitter alone. And I don't even know how to find it, but I should go find it and pull it up and re-listen to it. What happened to Mike Trout? He's got a knee injury this time. He's got to have season-ending knee surgery on it in the coming days. They should donate tickets to the Core 12. They should. They should give the Core 12 a private box. We can all meet at the Wells Fargo Center, and we can watch Marshawn boo Joel Embiid and then throw him out of the balcony. Same reason Phil sells pineapple pizza. Some reason. Yeah, look. I do what the people want at the pizza shop. Meniscus at the very least, and he can't even pinpoint when it happened. That's a shame. That's a shame. I feel bad for Mike Trout. I feel bad for Angels fans. I do. They keep Mike Trout and Rendon. Those guys are hurt already. They get rid of Ohtani. That guy, and they're 11-20 or something like that again. But the Phillies, man, are they for real? This kind of got brought up on a show earlier this week because of the Sixers' expectation to not win this series. That will the Phillies be the next team to win a championship in this city? I mean, the Eagles are on a collision course with another trip to the Super Bowl, but you got to say the Phillies are on a collision course. Somebody asked me on Twitter yesterday, will the Phillies be active at the trade deadline? I'm like, of course they will be. John Middleton, Dave Dombrowski are not going to let this hot start and this team's potential go to waste. And it's too soon to know exactly. They'll need another bullpen arm, maybe two. We'll see how that plays out. We don't know what kind of injuries are going to happen throughout the dog days of summer. But this Phillies team is on a collision course with the Braves to represent the NL in the World Series, to win another pennant. And while we spend so much time with negativity, and even I am negative towards the Phillies with Rob Thompson, even I have said on Twitter, and I'll say it here on the show, that he is getting the benefit of the doubt from. I don't like when he sits Brandon Marsh. 6 times already. I did the math yesterday. He's on pace to start only 100 and what was my math? I think it was 132 games. That's 30 games he's scheduled or projected to not start for the Phillies this year. They played 32 games. He hasn't started in 6 of them. But even I'm not overly critical of it because they are winning. Their slow starts every year. Not happening this year. This team is giving me eerie vibes to the 93 Phillies. That just was perfect. That team was, start to finish first place. We haven't gotten to first place because the Braves are just, to think about it. We are the 3rd best record in baseball. One of the 2 teams ahead of us is in our division, the Braves. It's insane. Insane the way it's playing out. But I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But are the Phillies more likely to keep this success going than the Sixers even? What's more likely, the Phillies getting back to the World Series or the Sixers winning Game 6 tonight at the Wells Fargo Center? And I'm not even talking about the series, just Game 6 tonight. I don't hate Joel. I'm a realist about his playoff performance. I know you have a lot of sarcasm in what you do. I know you're just stirring the pot a little bit. I get it. But if you're being a realist, you got to understand that Joel Embiid had a bad offensive performance. Scoring between his assists, his setting screens, his defense, his offensive rebounding in Game 5. You also have to be real that Joel Embiid had massive impact on the game in other ways other than getting the ball in the hoop. I love Casper the Goat. Yeah, stop. I really wonder if Justin Crawford, Aiden Miller, Mick Abel, or Andrew Prater get traded. It's funny because I checked Facebook memory strike again. I think it was yesterday's show last year was me talking about should the Phillies consider trading Andrew Painter. And I remember the show because I got crushed for it, saying you don't trade your best pitching prospect. Then he gets Tommy John surgery. Everybody's tradable for the right price. All these guys you list here, Nooms for 9, all of them are tradable, in my opinion, for the right price. Now, I don't know how much, what Painter's price is while he's recovering from Tommy John surgery. So I don't know if you do it. But, yeah, they could get traded. If this team stays healthy, most of these guys aren't needed. Is there a path to Justin Crawford even to get into this offense in the next 3 years? Maybe Nick Castellanos is gone after this year. I don't know. You only got one more year. Kyle Schwarber, I guess. But, man, now 93 Phillies started 3-0 in Houston, and the Bets played. Yeah, but they were just a dominating team throughout the year. Yeah, we started the first week of the series, first couple games of the season were not good. But overall, we've been pretty dominating day in and day out. Pitching has been phenomenal. Trey Turner, Alec Bohm, MVP candidate maybe? Maybe? I love how Alec Bohm's doing it. Second in the league in doubles, second in the league in RBIs, second in the league in batting average, but only has 4 home runs. He's doing it in a different way. He was never going to be a 40 home run hitter. I always said he was about max a 22 to 25 home run hitter, but I always said he could drive in 110, 115 runs. I always said he could hit 300. Well, he's doing it this year, and I love it. Alec Bohm is phenomenal this year. Trey Turner, phenomenal. Leads the league in hits right now. Well, thanks. I mean, I'll try to get 8.5 out of 10 tomorrow. If we glaze Joel on the stream, there would be no engagement. Yeah. Got to bring some negativity. Negativity sells. It does. Yeah, seriously. Way fewer frustrating rebounding moments in Game 5. We actually won. We doubled the amount of offensive rebounds than the Knicks had in Game 5. And guess what happened? We won. Go figure on that one right there. Don't need much of yes. Truth, Marsh and Phil don't need much of yes men. Okay, Brandon Marsh was easily Phillies MVP last April. Yeah, Brandon Marsh has had a really good season this year. Yet the kid is on pace to start 132 games. Really? Like, I get it. And everybody needs a rest. Everybody gets days off. Everybody this and that. And then I'm like, well, why hasn't Nick Castellanos been given a day off? Why hasn't Kyle Schwarber been given a day? Last year, I think it was late August, the first game that Kyle Schwarber was sat for. And he was hitting 160. He was allowed to play through hitting 160 at a point last year. And everyone's like, well, they're stars and they're allowed to play through their slumps. Brandon Marsh could be a star. He's not. He might be struggling in his last 12 at-bats against lefty. Everyone keeps saying he struck out 10 of his last 12 times against left-handed pitching. All right, sure. That's not good. Let me tell you something. If Brandon Marsh isn't allowed to play through his struggles, then why is Nick Castellanos? Just because he's making $25, $30 million a year. Money talks. And it's kind of frustrating because Nick Castellanos, I like the guy. His kid's fun during the playoffs. He's got a certain swagger to him, Nick Castellanos, that I love. But, man, you can't use the excuse that Brandon Marsh is struggling, so he needs a day off, but then say Nick Castellanos is allowed to play through it. You just can't. Nick Castellanos had one great season in his career. And you're going to give him a pet? No, stop. It bothers me. It does. We not the Tessio type. We may be built like Clemente. Yeah. Phil, who's your pick for the Byron Nelson? Tom Hoagie, if you missed Fairway to Heaven. I did pick, I think Tom Hoagie is going to win the Byron Nelson this week. I bet 48% of my budget this week, gambling-wise, was spent on, I have 5 outright bets. Let me pull up my notes here to get them right. Tom Hoagie at 28-1. I think it was like 48% of my entire, units spent was spent on Tom Hoagie. I also bet Garrett Higo 100-1. Peter Quest 90-1, Justin Lauer 91, and Jake Knapp 80-1. I think they're all also very good plays. But Tom Hoagie got a lot of DFS love for me this week and got a lot of betting money put on it. And even have a first round matchup bet that Hoagie's going to have a better first round over Bryce Garrett. I forget who the other person in his threesome is. At plus 125, I threw a nice little bet on Hoagie having the best round out of his trio in round one. So Tom Hoagie, it's a Hoagie fest at TPC Craig Ranch for the Byron Nelson. We drink the Frankie Five Angels. Yeah. In my opinion, Crawford, Painter, Miller will need to replace Casty, Schwartz, and Wheeler at some point. Not really worried about Wheeler. I mean, they did give him a 3-year extension, so he's here for the next 4 or 5 years. So Painter is more likely to replace Chris Sanchez or Taiwan Walker, one of those guys in the rotation, but not Zach Wheeler yet. Dude, we got Godfather references. Dude, we got a Union reference mixed in there too as well. Guys, we're down to the final 10 minutes of the show here. All right. Actually, I think I missed one of my reads here. Let me bring it up. That's right. We forgot about this one right here. Tonight, 5 o'clock, right here on EOP Sports. Football Stories Live. Football Stories Magazine. It's a magazine run by Brian Baldinger of the NFL Network, NFL former player, etc. We know who he is. Articles written by Paul Tomowitz, Dave Spadaro, and others. Check out Al Thompson, Matt Santorelli, Santolari, as they go live tonight, 5 to 7, every Thursday night. Part of the Edge of Philly Sports family now. Make sure you check them out. Great stuff from them, as always. And check out all the shows tonight. Obviously, we'll have Sixers post-game live, Attacking the Third, the Great Union Show, Fly Like an Eagles podcast with Mitch Ipu. And, of course, like I said, Phillies Football Stories live at 5 o'clock. Jam-packed lineup here on EOP. Guys, you got to hit that subscribe button on YouTube. Get us to 5K or 15K subscribers. Come on. Let's go. But we got to get to the wrap-up process. So we got to start talking about whether the Sixers will actually win tonight. Sixers are 3.5-point favorites. The predictor thing on ESPN's got them at like a 59% likelihood to win the game. So it's a really close call. And I know Brett earlier said Sixers 101, Knicks 93. Frustrated Knicks fans on Tuesday. He's still alive. They hit him with 5 shots, and he's still alive. Oh, I like the reference. I like that. We always look out for the family tree. Yeah. Don't ever turn against the family. That's all I can say. I see Marshawn on a lot of other shows talking. I don't know. Marshawn Marshawn floats with wherever, the hot takes are going. He's not loyal to the family like some of you. Just say. Knicks fans missed their chance. They're hunted once. Yeah, absolutely. They will probably win. 3-1 is a tough bet. I won't make that one. Yes, as Freddie Burns said yesterday, originally after Game 4, the Sixers were 6-1 to win the series still, and I thought it was crazy. Fred Burns bet it. Now after winning Game 5 and making it 3-2, they're only 3-1 to win this series. That's crazy. But yes, I do think that, like I said, the first line of this show, once I think I was out, they pull me back in. I'm pulled back in. The momentum, the emotion of how they won Game 5 can carry over to Game 6. And what did I say on this show the morning after winning Game 5? The Knicks are questioning themselves. They're doubting themselves. They're looking in their mirror saying, do we got this? Are we really going to lose? All the pressure is on the Knicks. If the Sixers lose, it'll be Joel Embiid comes up small, it'll be this and that. But if the Knicks lose, they're going to be talked about as one of the biggest collapses in NBA playoff history. There's a reason why, and I forget who said it earlier this week. No, Sean Bernard on this show Tuesday said teams down 3-1 in the series have only won 4.7% of the time, 200 some instances. Forget the exact stat. 4.7% of the time. So all the pressure is on the Knicks tonight. They don't want to make it a Game 7 because then anything can happen in a Game 7. The pressure is on the Knicks. And I don't think the pressure is going to make diamonds. The pressure is going to get to them. Jalen Brunson's going to cry like crazy. I think the Sixers win tonight. And I actually kind of like Brett's prediction of 101-93. I'm going to drop it down a little bit. There have been a lot of low-scoring games in this series. I'm going to say something like 98-90. Sixers win. It's going to be close, but they pull away at the end with some free throws to make it look like a slightly different thing. So I am predicting the Sixers cover, not just win, but cover the 3.5 points tonight. Barely, but they do. I don't expect Joel Embiid to score 30 or 40 points. I expect him to score in that 20 to 25 range at a max. I hope Maxey has another 40-burger tonight. I would like to see who that other person is. Can Tobias Harris have a second good game in a row? That would be huge. Will it be Buddy Hield? Will it be Campaign? Will it be Kelly Oubre? Someone else, offensively speaking, needs to step up. I need to see, outside of the big three, Maxey, Embiid, Harris, because financially speaking, still one of the big three. There needs to be a fourth guy, a fourth person. And that fourth person needs to score 20 points tonight, whoever it is. Hopefully it's Kelly Oubre, Buddy Hield, Campaign. Somebody else is going to step up and score big tonight. I said it. You're not loyal to the family. I see you on like dozens of other channels chatting with people. Man, I feel heartbroken when I see you ditching the trending family. I do. You're not allowed to watch it. If you're part of the Core 12, you're not allowed to watch a single show anywhere else. You're only able to watch trending, and that's it. A free agent. Yeah, I see. No loyalties, right? I think the Sixers eke it out. I do. Maybe I'm naive. Maybe you're naive. Maybe we're being a little homerism-ish with this, but I think the Sixers win. I think the Knicks, the pressure is going to get to them. The Knicks sound like the Sixers the last few years where we couldn't put away the competition. Yeah. The pressure. They're not used to this kind of playoff pressure, the Knicks. I think they collapse tonight. I do. Wait, Maxey scores 40, but the Sixers don't score 100? That's a bold call. What was the fun? That took overtime and 46 points, and they got to 112 points. So it's not like it was that crazy of a high-scoring game. What was the score going after the fourth quarter? It was 90. I'm trying to do math for you here. 97. Oh, 97-97 at the end of the regulation. So that's pretty close. I can see that. Brianna saying Sixers winning. I like it. Phillies won. Love it. They're all great. What is up, Brianna? Great to see you. Make sure you hit that like, share, subscribe button. Now who's being naive. Yeah. Everybody sounds scared in here. 110-92, grease the polls. Dude, I would love it. You know why? If this was accurate, because I wouldn't have to stay in front of my main TV. I wouldn't have to stay there until 12 o'clock tonight. I could go watch the end of the game in bed and fall asleep. I hate that. Yeah. So, yeah. I'm telling you, don't watch EOP. No. You can watch anything on EOP. Wherever my home is, which is EOP right now. Anywhere. You're allowed to watch them. And that's it. That's all I'm allowing you to watch. I'm future Marshawn. We win big tonight. You got the secret to time travel. Don't step on any bugs while you're here in the past, Marshawn. Please. I love happy people. 110-92, all caps, grease the polls, Philadelphia. Dude, let me tell you something. The Sixers find a way to come back and win this series. Watch out, NBA, because they're going to beat the Pacers in round 2. They are. And when you face Boston, then things get a little tricky against Boston. But we'll cross that bridge later. If the Sixers lose, it will make Phil look ridiculous, and a man in his position cannot. Because nobody that hosts a sports show ever looks ridiculous when they're wrong. Yeah. Man, will I be coming on this show tomorrow? Will we start the LeBron talk? Will we be starting the Trade Joel talk? Or will we be talking about Game 7? Nothing is better in sports than an NBA or NHL playoff Game 7. It's some of the greatest stuff happens. And MLB. The best of 7. Game 7s in sports, man. Yeah, a lot of comments from Brianna there at the end of the show. But, guys, we got to start the wrap-up process here. You're watching Trending in the AM right here on the edge of Philly sports. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe. We are live every morning, 8 a.m., jam-packed on Edge of Philly all day long with loads of great content and videos that are posted throughout the day, shorts and whatever else. I really thought Sixers in 6 or 7, yet despite how great Game 5 was, it was more of a depressing wake-up call that I want to be wrong about. We have to depend on New York blowing it more than us winning it. I hope not. I hope not. I hope they can win it on their own. I do. That's right. It's still always go Birds, right, Doc? I'm sure I'll find a way to mix the Eagles into the conversation tomorrow. We dabbled with Phillies today, but you know, we zoned in on the Sixers a lot today, and I'm sure it'll be a lot more Sixers talk tomorrow, good or bad. Good or bad. With that being said, gotta end it for the day. For Edge of Philly Sports, I am Phil Stiefel. Like, share, subscribe, retweet, follow wherever you're watching. And guys, as always, as we end this show, always, very simply, go Birds, 6ers and 7.